Well, yeah. I mean, I remember like that was like one of the first things I think like Ajahn had told me is like when you're in here, like you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Cause nobody in their right mind is like, you know what, I'm gonna go put myself in a ring with someone and let them beat the shit out of me. You know, like there's not a lot of people that'll think, oh hey, that looks fun. You know, let me go try that. You know, so like I mean, I remember too, like the first time I started sparring, like it was just it's weird. Like it's definitely like a different feeling, you know, being in there and you're like, fuck, dude, this guy's trying to hurt me. And in reality, most of the time they're not. Like people are just like they're just tapping you, you know, like but you're like fuck, fuck, fuck. Like I'm not used to this. Like I need to bounce.
Right.
You know? So once you realize you're like, you know what, this isn't bad. Like, you know, like it's something that I can do. Like I'm able to once you kind of reach that, like you're comfortable being uncomfortable. Like you're able to see the bigger picture. You're able to see smaller things, you know, things that you didn't see before when you were like panicking.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And like a lot of people will like ask me questions like, "Oh, like how do you do that? Like how do you do this?" Like he tried hitting you, but you were able to hit him. And I'm like, "Well, like a punch is a punch, a kick is a kick. Like he's going to try and hit me no matter what. I've just learned certain things or like I've gotten able to see certain things just putting myself in that situation, you know? And it's funny because, like, I know, like, every day or every Friday, you know, people, like, John's always saying, people come in. And it's true, you know, like, when you come in, you're making yourself be comfortable in the uncomfortable position, you know? And then a lot of people, there's, like, those moments you always talk about, like, oh, fuck, like, you were right. Like, now I'm able to do that. Like, it's not that bad. Like, you know, like, I'm able to do this. I wasn't able to do this before, or like I wasn't able to block that.
Yep.
But now like I can. So it's just like, yeah. So it helps because like I mean obviously like going out in the real world, you know, like you have stress, you know, you have other things, family issues, work issues. But if you just are like, okay, well you know what, let me take a fucking second, get my bearings, take a step back. All right, let me prioritize the things that I need to take care of. All right. You know, this and that are all done. So that's how I see it. You know,
I agree.
Simplest way you could put it. You're comfortable being uncomfortable.
I am and have always been at my absolute best when things were at their worst. Like shit could just be going straight nuts. Something within me goes this way. I never go that way. I just 100%. And the higher it gets, the deeper I get, and my eyes I focus. It's like, okay. Because in my mind, I know it's like there's always a way to fix it. There's always a way out. Where is it? You can't do shit if you freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that's a conditioned thing. You have to go through enough shit to where you become comfortable in hell. Not something that you necessarily want, but it's and that's a bigger picture. But it definitely has its benefits though, because you just that calm under pressure, all that shit, you know. But see, for me, it has to be 100% real, not some bullshit. Like I mean, if it's like dire to the 10th power, oh, I'm at my best. Like, nah, I don't know. And again, like I said, I think it's just because of my upbringing and the surroundings, and just because, you know, there was just way more sadness and pain and anger and just, yeah, you know, and it's like, what are you going to do? Because if you get caught up in that, you can't make it. It's almost like it made me remember when I was going through the worst of the worst shit with divorce with Rachel's mom. I mean, I started thinking all the shit I survived, and I was in the middle of that shit. I used to have nightmares. It's like I was dreaming I was in this, so if I can spread my arms this way, and I'm in this kind of a well, and nothing but a bunch of black snakes in it, just full. This is a fucked up dream, but I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you, I'm old. I don't care no more. So as far as I spread my arm like this right here, there's room. So there's a circle that went just outside my fingers, but this thing is full of fucking snakes. And I'm in this damn thing like this. All the snakes are alive, and they're everywhere. They're not biting me. and they going around here, they just constantly moving and shit. And if I in the dream it was like, if I got like agitated, then they would, get tighter up on me and stuff and pull me in. But the more I relaxed, the more they relaxed. And the more I made basic little incremental moves to get out, they didn't notice it. And gradually in the dream, I got out the fucking thing. And I never got that shit. And it's like, and I started thinking in my head, what the fuck did I, because that's how bad I felt fighting, going to court and all this sort of shit. And it was just total bullshit. But I had to deal with it though. And it took years. So it was similar. You see what I'm saying? So the frustrations, like say if I had gotten fuck you, I lose my emotion and just lose control and then just go do something foul, then I ain't got a future. Just like in the dream. But I'm like, nope, I'm gonna get out of this. I did, but it's still along that line. So how the fuck, you talk about being comfortable in hell.
And it goes a little something like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Y.O.D, Y.O.D, Y.O.D.
Thanks for listening to the Y.O.D Podcast with Ninth Con, tough is good, smart is better. If you're tough and smart, that's the shit. Are you coachable? And then Ajahn Ruben. Let's get it in as we sit down with special guest, extreme power gym student, semi-pro fighter, and all-around great dude, Diego Cruz.
Well, growing up, I was born in Oceanside. My mom's from Oceanside, my dad's from Carlsbad. Once I turned 7, we moved to Menifee. And then after that, when I turned 14, we moved back down to Oceanside. And then I've been living here ever since, and now I'm 22. But, I mean, all of my friends and family, like family friends, all live in Oceanside. So I'm down here, was down here all the time when we were moving, or when we moved. But, it's home. It is what it is. It's Oceanside. If you're from here, you know what it's like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What school did you go to in high school?
So in high school when I was living here, I went to El Camino. And the funny story behind that is I was actually supposed to go to Oceanside, but my grandma convinced my mom not to send me there because she thought I was going to be a gang member. But what's funny is both my little brothers go there now, but his school's gotten a lot better than
Oceanside.
what it was.
We're getting gentrified, that's why. It's all good, though. John, you trained a lot of fighters from amateur to professional champions, but when it comes to Diego, what makes him the same or different from those you trained in the past?
He's the same as far as he's that stuff of a fighter, like natural, 100%. And what separates him is not just him, but all of them like him. There are those that are just born fighters, and then those that's not, and that's the defining line right there. I mean, like the sky's the limit for him. Like he's like let's see who has, like, whether you live up to it is irrelevant. But some people, like he could do what Fabian did. Like from amateur all the way to world-class pro, if that's what he wanted to do, Alan could too. Alan got that that everything, but it's just it's a decision. You just, that's some shit you gotta just want. Who fuck cares why? But yeah, because when they do what they do, always level-headed, never emotional, never take shit personal, do all the work, go perform, fuck it, move on. It's just different, And I remember for the longest time, because they still ask about you, like when you gonna fight, when you gonna. And it was the same shit with Fabian a long time ago. And the twins, they always would say stuff like, "Hey, Ruben, guys like Fabian don't walk in the door every day." I'm like, hell no, it's just an anomaly, and he fits in that category.
That's awesome. Diego, at such a young age, I shared this with Ajahn a few weeks ago, how just when you walk in the room, you control the room, your energy, your confidence, it shows.
Yeah.
A lot of people, that's not with everybody. But at such a young age, you carry yourself in a manner that is beyond your years in a way, in a lot of ways, actually. Focused, determined, persistent. Where does that come from, and what drives you to have that type of no bullshit, get it done mentality?
All right. Well, yeah, thanks for that. But like my dad is probably my parents. My dad mainly is the biggest like contributor to that, because ever since I was a kid, he's always told me, like if you're gonna do something, like do it with everything. Like don't fuck around and waste your own time or waste someone else's time. Like if you're gonna be there, be 100% invested. Don't just like go there to play around. And then Ruben trained my dad when he was around my age, so it's I kind of already knew what I was walking into. But like with everything, like I just try and do my best and like give it 100%, or else like what's the point really? So
He is like a younger version of his dad. It's the funniest thing. That's exactly how he talks. That's exactly how he is. He level-headed, mellow, strong as shit, though. I ain't lying. Ooh-wee. He was something. He's like a ninja. You wouldn't see him coming, though. He just real like...
A lot of similarities within their skill or approach?
Yes. Well, yes and no. He's more athletic than his dad. Like he can do shit with his entire body. Like his dad could low kick, his flexibility wasn't that good, so high kicks he wasn't that good at. Strong clinch was good. His hands were just phenomenal. He was like a Thai boxer, but would make good use of like international kickboxing. Not the high kick stuff. That just you made the way you made. But he was slick and mean. But it was a weird meanness, because he was I want to say almost a zombie face, like showed nothing, but you knew when he about to come at your ass, like for real, because he do like this. He just it was this quiet smile and all hell's coming. Like
he's still like that.
He different, dude. Because he's always like happy-go-lucky anyway, so you're thinking like, all right, it's cool. Nah, he's trying to kill you. It means it.
Yeah.
I remember a time too, and you kind of get a little background on it, but I remember it was one of the videos I made a long time ago, like last year, in the beginning of last year, I believe. But you guys were talking, and somehow the topic of saying sorry came up, and you talked about how your dad always tells you, don't say sorry unless you mean it. Don't just say it like it's just a loose word.
He says sorry doesn't mean shit. It's your actions that will mean something. Like you can say sorry 1,000 times and then do the same thing over and over again, but if you just say sorry or don't say sorry and actually act on what you're thinking about doing, then that's more meaningful than, oh, I'm sorry,
Was there a situation that sparked that, moment of like knowledge dropping to
A
you
lot,
and stuff?
a lot. Getting in trouble, that's a lot, like just saying I'm sorry, and then my dad just kind of being like, he always says sorry doesn't mean shit, do something about it.
Show it.
Yeah, like if you're sorry about it, then show me with your actions, don't show me with your words. Yeah. Everybody nowadays can talk out their ass, but nobody's willing to actually pull through with what they say. People aren't about action, they're more about words. Yeah.
Y'all hear what the fuck you just said?
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people realize how valuable that is as a son, especially. So just shed a little light on that, of how valuable it is to not only just tell your kid, hey, just stop telling me sorry and go away or whatever. Hey, just do it right next time.
Yeah.
But breaking down like your father did, yo, sorry is this, and what you're doing is bullshit. Get it done.
Well, I think it's kind of like the way that you say it too, because my dad, well, they had me and my older brother like at a younger age, so I always like to say we were the test dummy kids. So they had like the very like short tempers with us, so you'd get good ass beating here and there, but like the older I got, like the more like patience that my dad would have with us, and like he wouldn't really yell. Like now, like he doesn't yell. Like he was just more of like, hey dude, like why are you fucking up? Like get your shit together. So I think it's the way like he's actually like just having a conversation more than just yelling at you and expecting you to change. Like for him just telling you, he just kind of making you see like, oh well, look dude, like sorry, like this doesn't mean anything. Like if you want to be about it. Don't just say you are at the end of the day. So yeah,
I think it's why me and Dad got along, because he says the same shit I say. It says go do, just do, your actions, and it's why I won't say alluding to, but I did. I think I did. I think I was pretty direct last Friday.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I got a little pissed.
People
But
gotta understand.
It's people pushing. It's like, stop fucking talking. Show. Fucking show. Go do it. You know, speak with your hands and your feet and your body. Give a damn what's coming out of your mouth.
Honestly, it goes back to the same thing as just how receptive people are of like the ideas and all the work. You know, like you can tell someone, work hard. You know, be a good person. But at the end of the day, it's their choice. So, but for like people, like one thing that I know that it would like kind of build up in a lot of kids and like a lot of people is like confidence. Cause that's like one thing like it actually helped me out with a lot because like I remember like being in high school, I've always been like a skinny guy. You know, I've never been big. And I remember, like, I was, like, we're talking to some of my friends, like, oh, you know, I'm thinking, like, I'm going to try out for football. Like, why the fuck you going to try out for football? Like, you're small. Like, you'll get fucked up. And I'm like, you know what? Like, yeah, you're right. Like, I shouldn't. And that's where I fucked up. Like, I should have never, like, let them influence my ideas. Like, I should have just tried it and been like, oh, hey, I tried it, you know? So, like, coming in here, and then, I mean, this is more brutal probably than football, you know? Like, football, you get a little bit of a break between someone hitting you. So, I don't know, like, it's helped me to just realize, like, you know what, like, I can do anything that I want to do, like, regardless of what people say. Like, I remember, like, telling people that, oh, yeah, you know, like, I started training, because I didn't tell anybody, even my dad. I remember telling you, for, like, the first month that I started training here, I told nobody that I was here, because I didn't want to, like, tell my dad or, like, my parents, oh, yeah, like, I started going to the gym until, like, I actually could show something, you know? And what was pretty funny is that he found out from Sal's dad. Because my parents know little Sal's parents. And I guess my dad and his dad saw each other. And it was literally the day that I found out I was going to have my first smoker.
Oh.
And he was like, hey, your son's going to have a fight. And my dad's like, what? My son doesn't go there. What are you talking about? And my dad called me. And I was literally getting out of the gym. And I was like, fuck. What is, like, he doesn't usually call me. So I'm like, man, something happened. And I'm like, what's up? Funny. And he's like, hey, I got a question. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, do you go to Extreme Power Gym? And I was like, who told you that? And he's like, so you go? And I'm like, yeah, I actually have a fight like this Saturday. He's like, dude, I fucking found out like through Sal's parents and all this and that. And like, yeah, it was funny because he was upset. But the only reason he was upset is because, like, I mean, it's bad. I kind of like lied to him. I told him, oh, I'm going to 24 Hour Fitness. When in reality, I'm going like right down the street. So he was like upset that I wasn't where I actually was at, or I told him I was gonna be at. Yeah. But it was pretty funny. But yeah. So yeah, you know, like it gave me a lot of confidence, and it's helped me like to think about things in a different light. Like when you're young, you know, like you kind of, or younger. I mean, I'm still pretty young too, but you tend to like just react off of things. Like you don't think. Like you kind of just do things like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go do this, and you don't think about, well, if I do that, this, and that can happen. Am I willing to do this? Or am I willing to take those consequences for what I'm doing, you know? Yep. Like a lot of kids don't really do that. And like I've noticed it like with my brothers because both of them are like high school age, you know? And like obviously like the older you get, you can kind of, it's one of those moments where I've been there, done that type of deal, you know? So stuff like that is just, I feel like it would be a good reason, you know, like instill like discipline and just confidence in kids, and like certain kids that like are struggling with just like self-confidence or like, you know, with things within themselves, you know, like it would kind of help them open their eyes and be like, you know, like I can do anything that I want. I just got to want to do it.
It'll definitely translate into the classroom.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. For sure.
I think I've had, and I still do it, and I don't push though. I'm real subtle. And I always get around to some kid at some point in time. Hey, how you grades? How you doing in school? Always bring that up. And at first there's this like, oh, and then there's this, wait a minute, why you in my business? You know, it's like you can sense some like, I got enough people on my ass about my grade. Now you too, you know. But I make them see that this matters and that matters. It all matters, you know. Keep scratching to accomplish and achieve and grow. I've always said, you know, and you said, you know, as far as if this is in school, I would say if the way this is set up, I'm not, God damn it, not trying to sell my way. I mean, I wish there was more clones of me because what I do actually give a shit. Like it's a investment thing in every single person to grow and progress. That's selfless. That's not selfish at all. But the individual has to do this one weird thing. I always say you gotta look in the fucking mirror and face what you see. Don't turn away, don't keep looking. Okay, let's work with this. And stay there. Most motherfuckers don't want to do that shit though. They don't and then complain. Well, you didn't prove anything. You kind of plateau. It's like, okay, what the fuck are you gonna do? And as I said many times before in the podcast, time passes any goddamn way. It don't speed up, it don't slow down, it continues. 5, 10, 15 years go by and you're doing the same shit, bitching. Who loses in that? You do. You see what I'm saying? So it's just to get them to see you do it, put that effort into it. That 5 years, it's like the dividends that come from it is insane. But to get somebody to do it, that's the hard part. And I used to say like the shit we do here on Tuesday, because the junior Marines come through, and then some of them senior Marines too, and we all talk. Even when I was training the martial art guys, and those are like the Superman of the Superman. The shit that they do,
It's badass.
It's I ain't lying. And shit, they agreed. I was like, man, this shit needs to be a part of third phase recruit training, graduate to be a Marine. I'm gonna say more than half wouldn't even. Yeah. But, that's too hard. Oh, that's like hazing. What the fuck, man? No, it's training for performance, and then it pushes something on the inside. It
makes you look within yourself.
Yeah.
It makes you find something, that you didn't know you actually had.
Yeah, fucking bite down, hang in there, grind that shit out. That is, I think, is the seed of character development right there. Don't run, don't look away. Deal with the shit. And you come out a whole new person at the other end of that goddamn thing, And I think that the way it was when I went through boot camp, which is similar to kind of this hard-ass shit here. And I remember, I'm not kidding, that when I graduated, I was one of the 4 honor men, but then I was the honor man of the honor man. And the lieutenant colonel of the battalion, we get the interview, and I dress blues and shit right before we go out and march and graduate and go on. He wanted to talk to the honor men to get our opinion on recruit training at Paris Island. And all the 3 guys talked to him and whatnot, and I was last. And he said, hey, Lance Corporal, what do you think? You got anything to say? And I said, sir, yes, I do. And he said, well, what's that? And I said, when I first got here, I said, I didn't get why we had to repeat and do things 5, 6 times, even, especially when sometimes we had it right the first time. And I said, but where I come from, when my dad told me to do something, I got off my ass and did it then. I said, but we're from, as they say, anywhere USA. Like, you all thrown together in there. You don't know anybody. It's like, because you're an individual. But they kill that shit. You become a unit, one mind. And it's a weird process you got to go through. And, of course, by the end of it, it morphed into that. We did become that one mind, which means, I'm saying, some dudes, they didn't come up the way I did, meaning that they weren't used to somebody telling them what the fuck to do. Or when somebody told them to do it, took them 10 times yelling at them to finally do it and shit. So it just, all this old weirdness and stuff. And I said, that's one thing. I said, but the other thing, I said the mental pressure. Like, it was 100% intentional. Let's see if we can break you. I'm telling that dude, that was the goal. And I got it, and I said to him, I said, I didn't understand at first. I said, but as we went on, but through second phase, third phase, I go, okay, I get it, because we were dropping motherfuckers left and right. We started with, 150 recruits. We didn't even graduate 30. It was under 30. Paris Island had that battalion. It was the smallest platoon to ever graduate from Paris Island. I mean,
damn,
dude, it was insane, right? And but the mindset was this right here. Well, if you can't get through this, how you gonna hold up in the worst of situations in combat? because a lot of our drill instructors were like Vietnam vets, and they're like, no, we're gonna give you a taste of what you're getting yourself into, and if you down good, if you ain't, you need to go. Yeah. And to this day, I think it needs to be brought back. But most of them that come in here and they even tell me, they're like, well, boot camp wasn't as hard as I thought, and then being in the Marine wasn't as hard as I thought, and that's because things change. Like everybody walks on a fucking eggshell, worried about hurting somebody's feelings. I'm like, all right, so do you think, pick a motherfucker's name in a different country that you fight in a conflict, give a shit about your feelings?
Trying to kill you. Trying to take you out.
They hope your ass is a powder puff because you lost. It's just, I always said that political correctness just went too far. Extremes don't work. I get too much this way don't work, too much that. You got to kind of slide back and forth in the middle. Just because at some point in time, this nonsense is going to get way too far out of hand and they're going to have to swing all the way back again. It's like a cycle.
I started training mainly just to prove it to myself that I could do it. I've always kind of been a skinnier guy and always been told I'm not cut out, I'm not built to do like physical sport. When I first decided to start fighting, I really wanted to prove to myself and also to a lot of people they're wrong.
So YD Cop, we're not commercial or cookie cutter. We teach what we advertise. Is this for you? Is this training environment for you? The kind of teaching, coaching style you're looking for. The only way you get better is when you're fucking uncomfortable. It sticks with you. So when you're under pressure, you don't fall apart. We sincerely give a damn about your student learning. Breathe out when they hit you, keep looking at them, because after they hit here, you can hit back. After they hit here, you can hit back. Call 760-672-8860 to speak with me, Ajahn Ruben, and schedule an appointment.
Okay, I'll Crayola crayon this thing. When you see someone that has an air of pompousness to them, that's the first sign that there's something seriously fucking wrong and they weak as shit on the inside. That has not fucking changed. That is classic human behavior of the overcompensating. Anybody that walk around tough to exude toughness, they're not tough.
Yeah.
There's a pit bull outfit and a little chihuahua on the inside there, and usually, if not to break them down, but get to know them, they're not a bad person. They just went through some shit and don't know how to handle it. It's like they think, well, I got to do this to show this, and it's like, no, that's not how it really.
There's a lot of things that you can deal with on your own, that you don't really need other people involved in, and that's why that's your business. But when it comes to things let's say you have struggles in life, there are times where you need help from other people, or you need just advice. Not everybody knows it all.
No.
But people like to play like they do. People like to seem oh yeah, I know everything there is to know. But in reality, you don't know shit. Yeah. So it's just to me, it's just you gotta know when it's okay to do something. All right, I just gotta collect myself. I need to be with me and my thoughts, and do your own thing. And then, then that'll just kind of develop you into the person that you are around other people. And that's how I see it, And like you said, people can, peacock, I guess that's what it's called. Peacocking, do whatever they want. Some people, that doesn't really change who you are. Some people do, there are those people who, they portray themselves 100% how they are, like Ajahn. He don't fuck around. That's how he is 24/7,
I'm just one fucking person, period.
And then there's other people like that too, but nowadays those are far and few between, there's people that just like to fake the funk, they're just, well, according to them, they're the shit, but in reality, like you said, they have shitty lives, or, something with them is just fucked up, And
this is the thing that I don't understand, and it's I understand suffering, I understand pain, I understand loss. I wish I didn't. I understand that more than any goddamn thing. It's in some, I end up, over the years I talk with them and this and that, and I'm like, well, our stories got a lot of similarities. Why you carry on that way?
Goes back to people's choices. They want to let it affect them, feel sorry for themselves.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, you know, like that's what it is. That's how I see it.
Yeah. It's almost kind of like a wallowing in it, and then put this fake impression forward. Yet on the ends, it's almost like they hadn't come to terms and dealt with all this stuff.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, you driving yourself fucking crazy because you show this, but like I said, I live long enough, I can tell, like, well, in your quiet moments, you're right on the edge. What's wrong with you? Fix the shit. Just like, who you trying to impress, man? Just be. You know, that kind of thing. And that's why when I teach the kids and I talk about bullies, it's the same goddamn thing. It's the same fucking thing. Anybody that come off like that right there, they just told you right then and there they're weak.
Yep. They're mentally broken.
All the technology in the world ain't changed human behavior. I keep saying this shit. All I see, I could be wrong. Fuck it, whatever, my opinion. But all I see is technology is amplified human behavior. Because people that are good, still good. And shitty motherfuckers just doing more shitty shit.
Yep. And then they hide behind a screen.
That's it.
That someone can't confront them about it to their face.
Yeah.
Yep. People
Still
say shit
human.
online they would never say to your face.
Oh, hell no.
Yep.
I think that's one of the valuable things too that you learn within Muay Thai, especially this gym where it's this dude named a long time ago when I was in school, the guy by the name of Spurgeon said that you don't have to prove that a lion is a lion. You just have to open up the cage.
Yeah. That's very true.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah.
Ooh-wee.
It's a CapSlaps.
Would you like to be a part of the show? Whether you're an individual or a company, you have an opportunity to be a part of the Y.O.D Podcast. Your ad can be right here. Just email the Y.O.D Podcast at YAWNCHRONICLES.com for information on how you or your company can be a part of the show.
It was more of a, if I'm using the right word, like a conundrum that we were stuck in. Because we didn't have anything. And then a lot of our people kept saying negative shit that reinforced we didn't have anything. And then there was some that did. And then they would talk, believe it or not, shit about them that did get something. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Are we supposed to try to move forward or not? I'm talking within our own black community. Like, I never got it. Like, are we trying to improve ourselves or not? Then if you do, you this total crazy, you know. And I could never ever feed into criticizing someone that was doing better. I'm like, that's what we're supposed to be trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, you okay living in this fucking shack? The hell? I mean, granted, I was low, so I would speak up, but I get the shit slapped out of me for speaking up. But
I think it's a leveled up type of world we live in too. So it's like, they got that, I need to get this. They got that, I need to get this. Rather than before social media and you seeing it so much,
yeah.
like you saw what you saw. Like whoever was in your neighborhood
Yep.
or kids that were in the hood, they would see whether it was the drug dealers or whatever, driving by with the
You're
nice
right.
stuff, and they're like, yo, I want that. And it was what you saw right in front of you. Now you can hashtag whatever
It's
you want to
insane.
see
Yep.
and get mad at it when you're the one who looked for it.
Yeah.
And it's my mom called it keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know if your folks use that term, but that's what it was, you know.
Yeah, I've heard it
Neighbor
before,
gets
too.
a new car, and then the other one try to go get another new car, and then they paint the house this color, and you know, fuck, you know, it's that kind of thing. And you know, I never saw my folks do that. It's like, nah, because Dad was one that believed live within your means, and he taught me that. You know, he used to say, I think I was 7 years old. He said, Junior, make sure you understand if your output is more than your income, your upkeep is going to be your downfall. Now, I never fucking forgot that. And I remember, even when I was a young Marine, I don't know, I've always been good with money. My sister used to tease me and said I was stingy. I'm like, I just don't throw my shit away. Fuck that. I work so hard. Why would you?
Yep.
Is that frugal? Whatever the fuck. You know, just.
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me. I mean, you know, like why am I gonna go blow $100 when it took me in an hour when it took me like a whole day to work for that? You know, like that's just
Yeah.
like simple math.
I
But
just like, nah, I haven't kissed my ass.
yeah,
I'm just good at it.
I'd rather
Put it
keep
away.
my ass at
Put it
home,
away.
watch some TV.
Fuck that. It's like, I mean, if like I said, I think if you've been without, that ain't something you want.
Yeah, you appreciate it a lot more. You know, that goes with like a lot of things, though. You know, like if like people that are given certain things, they don't appreciate it as much, unless like compared to something you have to earn.
Yeah.
And that's like another thing that like my dad has taught me. You know, like I remember when I was younger, like in summer, well, when summer hit, going to work.
Yeah.
Coming with me to work, even if I wouldn't go there and like play on the fucking computer he had outside and by his paint booth, play on the fucking games. I'm still there, you know. It's still hot, Escondido.
Yeah.
But I was there. Majority of the time I would help. And I remember I would always tell him, when are you going to pay me? Like, I'm over here every day helping you out. And I see you making money. Literally go to the bank with you. And I see you, you know, pulling out money.
Mine?
Where's mine? And then he'll be like, all right, let me ask you this. You got clothes on your back? Yeah. You got food in the fridge? Yeah. You got a roof over your head? I'm like, yeah. You got paid. And I'm like, shit, you're right. But, you know, then there's, like, other times where, like, I would work, and, like, he would be like, hey, like, or, like, there's something that I've been wanting, and he knows that I wanted it. He'll give me money. Oh, hey, you know, like, you know, you deserved it. But it's because I earned it. I wasn't just given money, or I wasn't just given the thing that I wanted because I wanted it.
That's right.
You know, so those are the types of things that you take care of more, you appreciate more because you realize all the shit you had to do to get it.
Oh, God.
And that, like, goes back to not only just, like, you know, like, how would you say, yeah, tangible items. It goes back to, like, just, like, success in general. Like, compared to this guy whose dad was, like, fucking CEO and he's gonna be CEO when he gets there compared to a guy that started off at the bottom and then worked to be a CEO.
Big difference.
He sees everything, top to bottom, because he went through it.
Yep.
He struggled, you know, like he earned his spot. He wasn't just
Given.
here you go, take it. Now you do what you got to do. You know, so, and that goes back to like being envious of other people too. Like just, oh, like, you know, like he was just given that. Or now like so and so, like his family has money, that's why they got it. But you don't know like what their family did, or the guy before him did that so his family could have that. You know,
Somebody had
to struggle and bust their ass. And that's what it's all about, you know, like you're leaving a legacy for your family to be like that, for people to be like that, you know. So a lot of people just like to hate on that, but they don't think about things like that.
And still human behavior, like I said, it's like a double loop. So if I did that and just all the hell and say I was that guy, and then it gets passed on, well, all you can do is hope and pray whoever it gets passed on to can feel and have the same drive and the passion and appreciation. Kind of hard for them really too, unless they kind of struggle along with you one way or another.
Yep.
Because it just, there's no way it's human. How can it can't possibly mean as much. It just can't. And then as the year goes by, it means less, and it's more of it's a given. And then they lose some spirit, they lose something. Because you didn't have to fight and struggle and die for the shit, you know.
Didn't have to go through the shit.
No. So what do you do?
Yeah, as you guys were saying, I was thinking just the way Muay Thai works and the way the gym works, the same thing, where everybody's on their individual quest and working on their individual self and individually getting better. But at the same time, you see who's who, you see where you want to be, you see where you need to be. And you said this before, it was one of those things where everybody in here gets to a point, no matter how good they are, they get to that point where they realize how much they still have to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you get better, but
Every
the
day.
better you get, the more you realize,
There's
not
more
necessarily
shit
I
to learn.
fucking suck, but yo, I got so far to go.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
then
I'm
there's
not even
people
there
that
yet.
know all that. You know, like there's people that know more than you. And like the thing too, like another thing, my
great.
dad has always told me, playing sports, you know, like no matter how good you are, there's always someone out there that's better.
True.
There's always someone out there that's working harder than you. You don't know it, you don't know them, but there's someone doing that.
It's true.
You know, like while you're sleeping, that guy's up doing fucking push-ups, doing sit-ups, you know, bettering himself. So, you know, so like what are you doing?
Somehow, some way, it's kind of like how Ice Cube say, you know, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't that sleight of hand and also bullshit. Just see shit clear, and it's hard, really, really fucking hard to not have your subjective way grasp, because that'll turn a perspective too. It's just kind of do your best to be objective and really see as much as possible clear. Because then when you do make decisions, I think they're more productive and faster. I think it saves a shitload of time, as well as minimizing mistakes. Because if you do see shit clear, you're making better choices. So how can you? How can you not? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's clarity, being as clear as can be, and that anything and everything.
Yeah. For me, it would just be like knowing yourself more than anything, because I feel like it kind of like jumps off of what he was saying with clarity. You know, like if you know yourself and you know like what you want in life and like what you want to do, like that's all you're gonna focus on. Like you're gonna see everything clear. You know, like all right, this isn't what I want, so I'm not gonna be doing that. This is what I want. I'm going to that. You know, like fuck what everybody else says. Like this is my lane. I'm gonna stay to it. That's yours. Go do your own thing. But a lot of people nowadays, they're kind of like I've noticed they're not really themselves. They are who they like associate themselves with, or they're like something that they see more than anything, you know. And like one thing that my grandpa says, my mom's dad, is like you hang around shit, you smell like shit. So you are who you associate yourself with, you know. And it's pretty true, you know. Like a lot of people, they hang out with people who are like them, or who they want to be like, oh, you know, these are the cool guys. I want to be a cool guy. You know, not too many people will be like, well, hey, you know what? Like, that's there. I'm going to go do this. And if you want to be my friend still, or you want to kick it with me, that's cool too. Right. Like, not a lot of people are okay with that. There's a lot of people who are just like, well, if you're going to be my friend, like, we got to all do the same thing type of deal. But that's not knowing yourself or doing what you want. That's doing what other people are telling you to do. So for me, yeah, that's what freedom is, you know, just being able to do your own thing, live your life how you want to live it, and not really give a fuck about what anybody else says. Just do you.
You know, like I was trying to explain to you yesterday about it dawned on me my real circle, my circle, my peer group, guys my age and this and that, how we started, and we're talking less than less. I don't keep beating that to death, but we didn't choose it. Somehow, I don't know, their mom, their dad, their grandma, somebody got to them just like whoever was got to me. Decide what you want and go for it. And then it's just unbelievable how much my little small circle, the achievement that these guys have made. Like I was saying, how there's this, the you know, hey, I'm cool, I'm gonna do this, the flossing, whatever the fuck it's called, and how, like I was saying with the dude with his ride that picked us up, the first fucking thing, you know, one cat like, oh, you know, anybody can go and rent one of them things, and I'm just thinking like, yeah, but that's his car. That's his car, one of many cars. It's not like, my point is this right here. It's not making that, it's like, get the fuck out of fake fucking world, dumbass. There's a such thing as some people, and that wasn't given. Yeah. That motherfucker earned all that shit. Hard though. You get what I'm saying? And every other, like, I mean, we were talking once before, like I said, I get shit from some of the fucking pea-brain motherfuckers, oh, who he think he is, and this. And I'm thinking like, and I ain't never done shit to you, but that's not my way anyhow. But you gonna, and yet, but these high-achieving motherfuckers, we like this, and came from nothing. How does that add up? So back to these fake people, and then there's real. There's spin, which is bullshit, and then there's reality. And it's like, stay with integrity. Don't get caught up in that shit. Why is every single time something that it looked decent, well, you're gonna trivialize and say, oh, well, anybody can go do
Yeah, but if they were that person, they'd be like, oh, well, this is my shit, you know? It's like, if you were in that person's shoes, you wouldn't be talking shit more than anything. But because they see something that they don't have that someone else does, but they want. So people got to make themselves feel better by hating, pretty much.
But it makes no sense. Totally go negative and not, no, dumbass. My hope is like, you know, a whole bunch of us came from fucking nothing and made something of ourselves. That's the goddamn message.
Yeah. Over your head, got too much knowledge.